In this video, we will create the data source for the recent activities FlexCard. Let's notice what's on our FlexCard. There's a new action on the right, and there are a list of activities with an edit action on each card. In this situation, when you have some information needed at the top above a list of records, activities in this situation, you'll want to use a parent FlexCard with a child FlexCard embedded inside it. So we will create a parent card with the recent activities text and the new action on it, and then we'll create a child FlexCard that has the list of activities. The child FlexCard will be embedded inside the parent FlexCard. Now let's determine the data that we need to extract from Salesforce. We will need activity name, the due date, and the status. And we're going to be displaying the data for the opportunity which has been selected on the opportunity list FlexCard on the left. So let's create the DataRaptor right now. Go to your OmniStudio app, select DataRaptors, and select New to create a new one. We'll call this DataRaptor Op Demo Activity. Okay. We will extract this information from the task object. And for the output, we're going to set the output path to be activity. So the JSON node created by this step will be a node called activity. We'll look in the what ID of each activity and extract only those whose what ID is equal to a value the DataRaptor will receive in a variable called selected op ID. Okay, so let's add our fields. Go to the Output tab and add the fields we determined are needed. First, the activity field subject. Now notice that I'm naming this node differently, so it's very clear what's happening from the Extract tab. We are receiving a node called Activity, and on this tab, the Output tab, we're creating a node called Activities. And note that in the current JSON output area on the right, it is reflecting the JSON you're creating, which will be the final output of the DataRaptor. Okay, let's look again and see which fields we need to extract. Due date and status. We'll extract the field activity date and we'll name it due date in our final JSON. And we're going to format it in regular date format. Next, we will add status. Activity status will output it to activities status. Now we have the fields that we need to display on this FlexCard. But we know that we will be adding an edit action later. So we will want to bring in some additional fields that we'll need on the Edit Activities FlexCard that we will create later. We will go ahead and add those fields now. How did I decide which fields we need when we edit the activity? For this project, I chose to use Salesforce's default task edit action as a guide. So I went to an opportunity, to its activity tab, and edited one of those tasks. Here I took note of the fields available on this edit page. These are the fields that we will want in our DataRaptor. We'll add the ones that are missing. So let's go back to our DataRaptor and add the additional fields. We'll add account ID, next we'll add created by ID, which will be displayed on the edit page, but not edited. Okay, and we're outputting it to activities created by ID. Next, we'll add description, which we will output as comments. Also, we'll add activity ID. Next, we'll add is closed. Last, modified by ID. Owner ID. And we will output owner ID as assigned to. Okay, then we'll add priority. Also, we will add what ID from activity, and we will output that as opportunity ID. And then finally, we will output who ID, which we will output to the JSON as contact name. Okay, let's preview this. Go to the preview tab. And then we need to add a key value pair, because in the initial extract, we specified that we are going to extract the activities whose what ID equals a variable called selected op ID. So we're going to provide a value for selected op ID. Under key, we'll put selected op ID, and then let's go to the opportunities in the org and get an opportunity that has some tasks. You might need to add the tasks in your org. But there's we've gotten that opportunity ID, and now this should return the task activities for the Acme Cloud Kick Sneakers opportunity ID. So let's execute the DataRaptor. And there it executed it extracted the 2 tasks for this opportunity. Sorry, DataRaptor is complete, it's working. You can take note of the query to the right, that everything looks good and the result is correct.